Hallo Leute und willkommen zu Tales of Berseria. So, wir sind in der letzten Folge in der Hauptstadt nun angekommen, endlich. Und ja, rauskommen wir ja erstmal nicht mehr. Deswegen erkunden wir die jetzt ein bisschen. Gibt hier wahrscheinlich viel zu entdecken. So, erstmal hier entlang. So, eine Seele. Mit dem können wir quatschen. Hallo?
Right now, Prince Percival is the one ruling Midgand. He's the crown prince.
The crown prince? What happened to the king?
The king is in good health, but he's decided to withdraw from public life and leave the kingdom to Prince Percival. He declared that a new way of thinking was needed to save the world from this crisis.
This king sounds like quite the guy.
Prince Percival is incredible too. He's following in the footsteps of the king by working hand in hand with Lord Artorius in the Abbey. As long as we have Lord Artorius and Prince Percival, the future of Midgand is bright. Ask anyone.
Got it. So all of Midgand is on Artorius' side.
Hervorragend. So, Silbermünze. Da geht's nicht weiter. So, da ist noch eine Seele.
The Abbey's job is getting harder and harder. We've all got to give them our full support.
Let's backtrack a bit. Just what sort of organization is this Abbey?
You're kidding me. How do you not even know that?
The Abbey is part of Midgand's Church of the Empyreans. Originally, it was an order of paladins and warrior priests devoted to exorcising evil.
Yeah. The Abbey's official name is the Exorcist Abbey of the Church of Midgand. Nowadays, its members are all called exorcists.
I'm impressed. You've done your research.
So basically they're just one branch of the church, right? And for a side branch, they don't really strike me as humble.
Of course not. The High Priest entrusted all his power to the Abbey's leader, Lord Artorius. He's effectively retired.
So the Abbey's leader is at the top of the entire church.
That's not all. The prince also gave Lord Artorius authority over all military and government affairs during the crisis.
Lord Artorius commands Midgand now, and has formed a new theocracy to combat the demon blight.
And that is the origin of the Holy Midgand Empire. The Abbey is its foundation, and its ray of hope.
Wow, okay, got it. The Abbey's a big deal.
So sieht's aus. Und unsere Expedition ist zurückgekehrt. Ich drücke immer die falsche Taste. Egal.
Take a look at this.
Reicht nicht ganz für Level 2. Gut, dann nochmal ins Lemonmeer.
Scout ship setting sail.
So, dann weiter hier. Eine Kiste mit 800 Gold. So, dann mal weiter hier rein. Gut, hier haben wir zumindest schon mal einen Laden und eine Unterkunft. Wo müssen wir genau hin? Ach ja. Weiter nach vorne. Gut, gehen wir hier rein. So, was haben wir denn hier Schönes? Sake. Nehmen wir alles mit. Gut, sind wir eigentlich gerade voll? Ja. So, ganz viele Zutaten. Ein Speicherpunkt. Den benutzen wir. Zack. So, dann gehen wir erstmal nach da drüben. So, wieder eine Kupfermünze. Eine Seele. Da geht's nicht weiter. Ich darf hier nicht durch. Okay. So, alles mitnehmen.
Mommy, when's the prince gonna talk? The exorcists are coming too, right?
I'm sure they will, dear. People are saying it's going to be a very important announcement about the Abbey.
I want to see the exorcists! We need to thank them for saving us from the demons!
You're right. We all have to show them our gratitude and help them however we can.
Yeah, I'll follow the rules too. I won't be selfish.
They sure are popular.
Because these people don't know the truth.
You think that's so? That the exorcists are fighting the demons they themselves cannot. That's why the people support the exorcists.
Ja, so sieht's aus. So, Kupfermünze, da haben wir eine Seele. Komm mal rein. Und uns gibt es hier seit über 100 Jahren. Selbst die kaiserliche Armee kauft bei uns. Yay, dann werden wir jetzt erstmal was verkaufen. Und zwar... Wo haben wir das Zeug denn? Ah, hier. Gut, die Kupfermünze. Ah. Ja gut, wir verkaufen mal alles. Oder brauchen wir die für irgendwas? Nee. Der Laden hat Level 2. Ventites Wanderers. Warte, was? Die Händler können auch leveln? Ernsthaft? Oh Gott. Da können wir auch mal 10 Stück verkaufen. Überraschend beliebt bei Sammlern. Ich glaube, das behalten wir mal. Das Einzelstück nicht viel wert. Ja, gut. Kaufen wir mal. Ja, da können wir mal ein paar kaufen. So 10 Stück. Dann Allheilmitteltrank. Halt und verhindert kurzzeitig sämtliche Statuserkrankungen für einen Verbündeten im Kampf. Da können wir 2 Stück kaufen. Trank des Lebens. Kaufen wir auch mal 2 Stück. Heiliger Trank, der die Begegnungen mit Schwachgegnern verhindert, bis dich in einem Gasthaus ausruhst oder aus dem Kampf fließt. Ja, da können wir einen kaufen. Und diese Flasche, um aus Verließen zurück zu teleportieren. Na gut, kaufen wir da mal. Ach, man kann nur 15 Stück haben, immer. Okay. Ja, gut zu wissen. Ich weiß nicht, ich bin so geizig, irgendwie was auszugeben. Obwohl wir genügend Geld mittlerweile haben. Lasst uns mal erstmal. So, Heil-Items haben wir zumindest wieder. Da können wir nicht weitergehen. So. Da was können wir denn da hinten? Kann man da auch noch was gucken? Moment. Lavendel. Silbermünze. Eine Kiste. Kalzitmontur. Ah. So, ein paar Seelen und eine Katz-Kiste. 95 Katzgeister, natürlich haben wir die nicht. Gut, dann müssen wir uns die merken. Aber jetzt erstmal hier weiter.
Listen to those cheers. The royals sure have these folks in line.
Subjects, may I have your attention? It is I, Percival Asgard, Crown Prince of the Midgard Empire. His Majesty, my father, and I are pleased to celebrate with you on this auspicious day.
The ceremony started.
It'll be impossible to slip in now.
After the opening 10 years ago, our kingdom faced an existential threat, both from demons and the terrible spread of demon blight. However, one man raised a miraculous sword and stood so that the body and soul of the land
Over there.
would not be
You can
lost.
climb up if you want, but attacking now would
And
be
the
suicide.
name of that man was Artorius Coldbrand. None here, I trust, are unfamiliar with Artorius' noble act. To bring us salvation from demons, he sacrificed everything.
But he's a murderer.
He called Lord Inominat, one of the 5 Empyreans, and blessed us with the strength of the Malachim.
But he's a murderer!
Velvet!
He serves as a shining beacon of reason in this world of turmoil. And reason is what binds us.
But you killed him! You took everything that I loved!
So raise your voices in praise to Artorius' devoted work, to the Savior who purifies evil and guides our flock. Let us call him our shepherd. Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius!
Artorius!
Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius!
Even though the world was filled with suffering, I had to ask something tremendous of you all. I entrusted you to endure the pains of reason. I asked you to bind yourselves with shackles of your own will. For the only blade that can expel calamity is one forged from unshaking reason and the iron will to do what must be done. And now that very blade stands ready, before all of us today. I offer my body and my life, in service to the people of this great land. With the blessings of the Empyrean Innominat, I will guide you to a world without calamity. And this world's suffering will be nothing but a distant memory!
But you're the one who murdered.
Fool, they'll see us.
Kill Laphicet.
What?
The shepherd Artorius. That's who you're after?
Oh, and here I was hoping you'd just straight up pounce on him.
That would be certain death. No, I need a sword of reason and will. That's the only thing that can kill him.
Killing Lord Artorius.
Playing it safe? Boring! Regrettably, it is at this juncture we go our separate ways. I've got a bit of hunting to do.
No one's stopping you.
Goodbye.
Farewell! May your days be fruitful and your nights tormented!
If our enemy's calling himself a shepherd, he won't be going into hiding. Let's take this slowly.
The old man behind him. Melchior, I take it?
Yeah.
Let's gather information on these people. If we know what they're planning, we can find a weakness.
They're the most powerful men in the land. If we're going to look into them, we need a lead first.
Eisen, do you have any underworld contacts in the capital itself? Like your friend at the port?
I don't go inland much, I'm afraid. But Eifried has close ties to a shadow guild. A tavern in the city, run by an old man called Baskerville, serves as a front for them.
A shadow guild? Those sorts of things actually exist?
That settles it. Let's head to that tavern. They'll have food, I'm sure.
Why not?
Gut. Dann haben wir zumindest schon mal einen Plan.
My stomach made a weird noise.
That's another sign that you're alive.
The exorcists sure were out in full force to see the shepherd's inauguration, weren't they?
What about that guy you're after? Was he there?
What, and have to stand around looking all proper? Nah, that's not his style.
But I thought he was one of the top exorcists.
That wouldn't matter to him.
Huh. All right.
Actually, Velvet, speaking of the shepherd, I noticed he wasn't using his right arm. Was he hurt or something?
Yeah. He was badly wounded a long time ago. He lost the use of his sword arm.
That's what I figured.
But don't get the wrong idea. He's still a master swordsman with his left arm.
I can tell that from the way he moves. His movements are steady and measured, and his chi is centered below his navel.
Huh? Why does that matter?
Some people say that all the body's spiritual energy gathers in a place about 2 finger widths below the navel.
Even when he appears to be in a state of total peace, his guard is never down. He's a formidable adversary. And I think I know why my target has placed himself at Artorius' side. Because now I want to take Artorius down too.
Gut, dann sind wir schon mal 2. So, da ging es irgendwie nicht rein. Hier haben wir noch eine Kiste. Mit einem heiligen Trank. Also mit 2 heiligen Tränken. So. Ah ja, da ist diese Taverne. Und dort haben wir jemanden neuen zu quatschen. Ja gut. Dann gucken wir uns erstmal hier noch ein bisschen um. Da hoch zum Beispiel. So, Eisenkraut, Seele, Silbermünze. Gut, mehr gibt's hier nicht. So, das noch mitnehmen. Da gibt's nichts mehr. Gut, dann zurück. So, dort gehen wir gleich rein.
Shepherd, savior of mankind. kind who guides us through the darkness. What an appropriate title for Lord Artorius. I believe in him. As long as we have Shepherd Artorius, we'll make it through this era of disaster.
Shepherd Artorius?
How pompous can you get?
Artorius has already seized control of all religious and secular power in Midgand. But now that he's taken on this new title, he's no longer just an authority figure. He's become the very hope of the masses.
A dangerous opponent indeed.
After seeing that, will you still fight him?
Of course I will. He could be a god for all I care. I'll have my vengeance. No matter what.
Ja, ja. Das wird hier lustig. So, jetzt gehen wir erst noch... Oh. Da haben wir einen Schatz. Oder zumindest etwas aufzuheben. Oh, wow. Ach, Moment, hier kann man jetzt auch rübergehen. Interessant. Aber gleich. Da vorne geht es aber nicht weiter. Nee. Gut, dann gehen wir zu diesem Gespräch erstmal. Und nehmen alles mit. So, Hallöchen.
He may be the shepherd now, but no one knows who he was before the Advent, or what he did.
No, they don't.
But he showed up one day with a mallet in tow, routed the demons, and formed a band of skilled young exorcists.
That sounds pretty suspicious.
Right? But the kingdom readily acknowledged his abilities and his conviction, and threw its full support behind him.
Maybe he plans on usurping power for himself.
Not likely. He's worked tirelessly to rebuild the church and state, and shore up the royal family's position.
Lining his pockets from the state coffers, then.
Not the slightest chance. Rather, he's got all the other higher-ups worried he's working himself to death.
Then what's he after?
Maybe there is no ulterior motive. Maybe he is our shepherd. Whatever the case, if he hadn't shown up when he did 3 years ago, Midgand would be a smoking ruin.
Ja, alles sehr verdächtig. Gut, wir könnten jetzt wieder aus der Stadt rausgehen. Das ist ja eigentlich schon mal nicht schlecht. So, ich gehe mal ganz kurz in die Unterkunft, ob es da was Neues gibt. Ja, tatsächlich.
It's a history book titled The Rise and Fall of Midgand. About 800 years ago, our continent was conquered by a military force from another continent. Few records exist of the following 500 years, a period known as the Era of Darkness, or the Dark Period. Then 300 years ago, a great hero named Claudin Asgard reunited the kingdom, bringing an end to the Dark Period.
Claudin, huh? Where have I heard that name before?
All right, that's enough for today.
Thanks for teaching me, Arthur. Your techniques are so amazing. Where did you learn them?
They came from my own master, a man named Claudin. He developed them himself.
Wow, they're so graceful. I wish I could move like that.
I've taught you the forms, but for some reason your execution deviates from the ideal.
Well, my body just kinda moves on its own.
You're a handful, Velvet. But I will say you do resemble Claudin some. He was a strange person himself. He always wore this peculiar cape, for instance.
Cape, you say?
Deep down, Claudin was strong like fire, vivacious like water, steadfast like earth, and free like wind. I can't help but admire him to this day.
Wow, I'd love to meet him.
Sadly, that's impossible.
Is he dead?
Yes, he is. He died to protect me. That's why I...
No way.
The events recounted in this book happened 300 years ago. It can't be the same Claudin.
Velvet, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't mind me.
King Claudin was quite strong, wasn't he?
He was more than just that. He's the most well-loved and trusted king in our history. Or so the book claims.
To this day, all of Midgard's rulers claim to be direct descendants of King Claudin Asgard. Knowing that, there might be meaning behind them bestowing Artorius with the grandiose title of Shepherd. I could see it as an attempt to recreate the same glory enjoyed by the Hero King who ended the Dark Period.
If that's true, it's a childish ploy. The world's not so easily changed.
I wouldn't be so sure. What matters is that the title inspires hope in the people, who in turn give him their support. Then, as their shepherd, he can guide his flock in any direction he pleases.
If Artorius knowingly accepted that title, we can be sure he's fully committed to his cause.
Oh, he's certainly committed. I've seen just how far he's willing to go.
Vielleicht ist dieser Claudin ja etwas Übernatürliches gewesen und der lebte immer noch. Oder lebt noch. Wer weiß. Oder dieser Artorius ist selbst sehr, sehr alt. Keine Ahnung. Wir werden es vielleicht irgendwann erfahren. Gut, also das da drüben ist definitiv die Taverne, schätze ich mal, wo wir hin sollen. Gut, dann gehen wir mal in diese Richtung. Mal gucken, was es da so gibt. Aha.
Lord Artorius' speech was so wonderful. I teared up halfway through.
I was so worried when the demons appeared. I'm so glad I put my faith in the Abbey.
The exorcists put their lives on the line to protect us. We've got to do what we can to help.
I want to marry the shepherd when I grow up.
Now that's popularity.
Ignorance is bliss.
Okay. Ja, schön. Dann mal hier hoch. Grobes Härtungspulver. Aha. So, da gibt es zwar ganz schön viel Zeug hier einzusammeln. Was die Leute alle in der Gegend rumschmeißen. Unfassbar. Gut, hier gibt es aber anscheinend nicht. Hier kann man reingehen. Oh Gott. Ach, da gibt es ja so viel zu finden. Alles verteilt hier. Gott.
That is one impressive cathedral. It fits the capital.
Yes. It's incredible.
It's as I heard. It wasn't built using Moloch arts, but the latest architectural engineering techniques. Look at those arches, the mathematical logic, the structural ornamentation. This is an architectural marvel.
So, is that Empyrean in there?
I highly doubt it. Empyrean worship has become mostly symbolic over the years. This cathedral wasn't built as a place of worship. It's commemorative, to celebrate the continent's unification.
In other words, a show of power.
That explains why they spared no expense.
It's too early to be impressed. This is just the entrance, and it's unfinished. They're constructing a colossal temple inside here. They say it'll take centuries to complete.
Centuries? That's insane. How could they think that's a good idea?
Your guess is as good as mine. I suppose that sometimes humans just have a need to push their limits.
Yeah, seriously.
The Reaper and a demon are shaking their heads at this overwrought monstrosity. Intrinsic worth, 0.
I wonder what it'll look like when it's finished.
Mhm. So. Gut, wir nehmen alles mit, was nicht nied- und nagelfest ist. So. Dann würde ich einmal sagen... Zack, wir speichern das Ganze hier mal eben fix. Und dann werden wir in der nächsten Folge mit diesem komischen... weiß gekleideten Herren dort vorne mal sprechen. Und ja, ich bedanke mich jedenfalls erstmal fürs Zusehen und dann sehen wir uns in der nächsten Folge wieder hier. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.
I will have my revenge.